Hello, welcome. Now today we have a past wire question involving bearing in mathematics that we're going to solve together. Now let's look at this. It says three ships P, Q, and R are at sea. Three ships P, Q, and R. That means we're going to have 3 points, all right? The bearing of Q from P is 30 degree and the bearing of P from R is 300 degree. If side PQ is 5 kilometer and side PR is 8 kilometer. Now question A says illustrate the information in the diagram. Question B says calculate correct to three significant figure the distance between Q and R. Now let's look at it very critically now. It says three ships P, Q, and R are at sea. Three ships P, Q, and R. So first thing first, we're going to have 3 points. Okay, point P, point Q, and point R. And the bearing of Q from P is 30 degree. Now from P means our starting point or initial point is point what? P. Take for instance, I say travel to Abeokuta from Lagos Airport. Now what does that mean? That means your takeoff point, initial point, starting point will be what? Lagos Airport. So the from is the initial, the starting. So Q from P is 30 degree. So let's assume solution now. This is my point P, initial point P. Now another thing you must know is that bearing is measured from north to south. Okay, bearing is measured from north to south, your north, south, your west, and east. North to south in a clockwise manner. Clockwise, not anti-clockwise. Clockwise, north to south. Okay, so from P is 30 degree. So this is my 4 cardinal point. This is my north to south. North. Now this quadrant is 90 degree. Okay, north, south, west, east, 90 degree. Now they say 30 degrees. So 30 will be somewhere here. That's my 30 now. Okay. So Q, this is my point Q, 30 degree. All right. Now, and the bearing of P from arrow is 300 degree. So this will be my point arrow now, the starting point, 300 degree. Remember from north to south in the clockwise manner. This is 90, another 90, 90 plus 90, 180, another 90, 180 plus 90, 270. And 270 away from 300, what is left? 30 degree. So I'm going to add a small 30 to it. This is 30 degree. I'll connect it to my point P. All right. Now, if PQ is 5, this is PQ, that is 5, we are told. P arrow is 8, this is P arrow, that's 8, we are told. Now, they said illustrate the information in the diagram. Calculate the three significant figure the distance from Q to R. So this becomes the diagram. Question A. Now let's quickly solve question B. Calculate correct the three significant figure the distance between Q and R. Let's call it X. Okay. Oh, let's look at something very closely here. Now, this is 90 degree, like I said to you. Now, if here to here is 30, what do you think will be this angle? If this full angle is 90, and I said here is 30, then this other angle will be what? 30 away from 90. That gives me what? 60 degree. Now, again, let's look at this angle. Now, look at this. What letter is this? This is Z. Z. Now, Z angles are alternate angles. The angles in between the Z are alternate. And alternate angles are what? Equal. Look at this. This is Z, right? So if this is 30, it means here is also what? 30 degree. Reason alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are Z angles. Now, let's look at this closely. What will now be this full angle? 60 plus what? 30. And that gives what? 90 degree. When you have 90 degree, what comes to your mind? A right angle triangle. Because a right angle triangle is a triangle that has one of its angle to be exactly what? 90 degree. All right? So, if I bring that out, I have something like this. This is my 90. This is 5. This is 8. This is X. Now, if I have a right angle triangle, and I'm looking for one of the sides, what's the rule? What I will do? Pythagoras theory. Take note. Whenever you have a right angle triangle, you have two sides known, one unknown, you use your Pythagoras theory. Now, the side unknown, is it the hypotenuse, the long side, or the two short sides? Now, how do I know the hypotenuse? The angle directly facing the 90-degree, directly opposite it, is always the hypotenuse. In this case, it means that x is the hypotenuse. And when I'm looking for the hypotenuse, what do? It becomes the sum of the square of the other two sides. All right? So that means x squared will give me what? 5 squared plus 8 squared. So s squared is equal to, what is 5 squared? 25. What is 8 squared? 64. So s squared is equal to 25 plus 64. That gives me 89. Now I'm looking for x, not x squared. So to remove the square, I do what? I square root both sides. Take notes. To remove square in mathematics, you square root both sides. When I do that, this takes care of this. Square takes care of square root. What is left? X. So my x is equal to square root of what? 89. Now, I want you to calculate that for me. Square root of 89, then correct it to 3 significant figures. And let me know your answer in the comment section. Bye.